Michael. Your Michael is also here. So today we are going to start from United Arab Emirates. Svetal is going to start with presenting the EWC national organizer at United Arab Emirates, and later about the partners, about the sponsors. We will hear also the presentation, the peaks of the 3 national winners of United Arab Emirates, and then on the second part we will switch to the Armenian side of the story. But before that, Svetal, would you please also check the attendees list, and if you will find anybody who is going to be our panelist from your side, because I don't know by their names, so please move them to the panelist list also, so we can start as soon as you are ready.
So we have Rimal Junabi. She's the founder of Trip. Rohan and Munib, they are co-founders.
Yeah,
both are here.
Ahad.
Yeah, Ahad. I think I don't see Desert Control, so we'll wait. I mean, as soon as they're here, I'm going to promote them to panelist.
Okay. Okay, you can start. If you are ready, you can start them.
So I'm going to put a presentation on a screen, but while I'm presenting, what I'm going to share this kind of a structure of this event. So the first 30 minutes will dedicate for the UAE startup ecosystem, followed by Armenia startup ecosystem, and then we'll take Q&A. I'm going to spend 10 minutes talking about what's our companies and generally what the UAE startup ecosystem looks like. After that, founder of Trip, Rimal Junabi, will introduce. She's one of the winners in the Entrepreneurship World Cup UAE final. She was winner in idea stage category, followed by Ahad, Ahad winner in the early stage category, and then last we'll have a Desert Control at growth stage category. And after that, we'll have a 10 minutes introduction of our sponsors. We'll promote them to the panelists as I see, in due course. Like I don't see anyone joining us, but if they are joining us, I'm going to add to the panelists. So that's the structures. So let me share the screen and briefly talk about Startup Skills 360 and also the UAE startup ecosystem. I hope everyone can see the screen.
Yes, it's visible. Yeah.
Awesome. Like we put in the presentation mode. So Startup Skills 360, we are a UAE-based company. So I think it's taking time to load, I guess. Yep. So we are a UAE-based company. I'm a CEO and managing partner of Startup Skills 360. My quick background, I was part of a sovereign fund Mubadala Investment, which is one of the largest fund based out of Abu Dhabi. I worked in multiple projects within the group. I'm an LBS graduate and Indian Chartered Accountant as well. These are my team members. So Frank is one of my partners. Akash lead the due diligence. Radu lead the financial modeling, and Avantika head the India operations. We are positioning ourselves ecosystem building, where we address 4 areas: advisory, event, innovation lab, and academia. On the advisory side, we work with global startups, very geography no boundaries, sector agnostics, early to growth stage, technology-led startups, and scalable potential is what we consider. Some of them are also angel investors. As in terms of the events, we launched Crossroad officially for Ministry of Education, Ministry of Economic and Sustainable Development in Tbilisi, Georgia. It's a startup ecosystem platforms for the government that we build with Georgia Innovation Technology and Georgia Innovation Technology Agency. It was featured in pretty much most of the media company in the region, as well as in the UAE. Forbes Georgia has also wrote an article about us. Speaking about the Entrepreneurship World Cup, Startup Skills 360 is the national organizer for this year, 2022. And we concluded the event on 6th of October. Amazing startups emerged as a winner. Trip, Rimal Janebi is on the call. Ahad, Rohan, and Munib are on the call. I think Ankit is also on the call. And Desert Control, Atle. I seen Atle is there. I'm going to promote Atle soon on the to the panelist level. But Atle is also one of the winners of growth stage category. Very short video about our UAE final. It's a little bit taking time to load.
Absolutely. I'm delighted to be here at the Entrepreneurship World Cup 2022, organized by Startup Scale 360 and In5. Absolutely. You see, even during the Expo 2020 Dubai, India was a participating country amongst the 192 countries. We were able to bring about 720 startups from India who were able to showcase their ideas at this global platform. It was the largest number of startups bought by any country. And we've seen that whole journey is transforming the way the startups in both countries have now been engaging. We're also seeing huge interest from the sovereign wealth funds based in Abu Dhabi and other investment companies. And they are looking at several economies, several sectors in India to identify the early stage startups, support them, and promote their global expansion.
نحن بدينا في 2013 مساعدة رواد الأعمال المبتكرين اللي هم جايين من التك والديزاين والميديا، ومن هناك نحن بدينا تشجيع وفعاليات نفس هذه اللي هي الانتربرنورشيب وورلد كاب، نساعد في مساعدة رواد الأعمال أنهم يدخلون في هذه المنصات ويطلعون للعالمية. وهدفنا نحن الهدف الأساسي هو تعزيز ريادة الأعمال ونعطي سبورت للاقتصاد المحلي وإلى العالم.
In the interest of time, I'm going to pause here. It's a little longer video, but it was with the help of the ecosystem we managed to do, and we can see this is a wall of fame that we built. The whole ecosystem actually joined us, thanks to In5, who are also our event partner and ecosystem partner. And Aldafran Captura is also our key sponsor for the UAE final. So we'll talk briefly about our sponsor later. But the whole event we could able to do with the help of the ecosystem in a still in a very low budget. We announced a collaboration with a German company aiding to launch Playroom in the UAE. So I'll take a pause here and just quickly jump into basically. Let me unshare first. So about the UAE ecosystem and in general MENA ecosystem, it's quite young ecosystem, but it's growing fast. I think the region has seen the potential of really great startups of late. Of course, we have two unicorns, basically Kareem and Kareem, which is acquired by Uber, and Souk, which is acquired by Amazon. So these are the good example that we have. But over the period, we've seen some another success story in the form of IPO via SPAC route. We have Civil and Angami actually went to the IPO via SPAC route. So the region seen a lot of potentials now with the young startups coming, and the ecosystem in general is adding a lot of values. Right from Abu Dhabi, where Hub 71 is one of the key driver of the UAE ecosystem, and in Dubai we have a lot of ecosystem. You can say a lot of micro ecosystem in the form of Astrolab. We have some larger ecosystem like some In5, DTech, Dubai FinTech Hive, and various other, basically adding values to the generally the wider ecosystem. We have Sharjah as well as have two ecosystem, SRTIP as well as Shera. And beyond that, we have seen a lot of growth in Saudi market. Saudi is a huge market in this region. Bahrain is also adding a lot especially into the fintech space. And also we have seen some startups emerging from other countries like Oman, like Kuwait, as well as the neighboring countries. In the region, if you see, generally the bigger markets are Egypt and Saudi. But UAE provide a perfect landing platforms. I think it has, in terms not only the government support, but we have a large pool of VCs also. They are based out of the UAE. And also in general, most of the the great programs are also run out of UAE. I think that because of the infrastructure play, because of the the access to the capital, and generally, if you look at UAE, because of the two biggest airline, I think it's a great meeting points for all the international meetings. Not just in a startup, but large corporate. They find it kind of a really comfortable space. So it's a place we say the East meets West, right? And that actually create a lot of vibrant ecosystem. We see a lot of influx of international companies moving also, because of the tax efficient region, and again there's a support of the government of the UAE. So in last 10 years, if you count, look at the growth, I think the last 2 years has been tremendous growth in the ecosystem. We have seen amazing startups. Before there was a more of a Me Too kind of movements which we have seen, a lot of copycats, but now of late we're seeing some of the startups actually coming up with some of the innovative ideas within the region, within the country itself, that shows some potentials that the startup is, has a ability to scale up at a global scale. Other advantages which we have seen is that it's very close to India. India being second largest ecosystem in the world. I think the immigration plays a very vital role generally in the UAE, and with that, I think the access to talent, access to the great innovative minds has become actually very easy to is become much easier in this part of the world. And India, as you see, a lot of unicorns are there, so which mean that there's a lot of learning from the neighboring country, and a lot of the funds actually have a mandate to invest in MENA startup, which means their focus area should be in MENA. That because a lot of the mandates actually driven by the LPs in this region, so they want the regions to grow. So with that, what we have seen a movement that international companies also having a base in UAE. Abu Dhabi, Dubai is actually providing a lot of the great facilities. The jurisdiction is very international friendly, so that we have seen attracting a lot of international companies to move over here. And one of the reason is being that because the mandate for these VCs to invest in MENA-based startups. So if you are moving here, what we are seeing that you basically get pretty much you meet their mandate and access to capital. So that created a lot of vibes recently, and that actually one of the reasons that we are also we are also existing in this part of the world. Startup Skills 360 is also a homegrown startup. Essentially, we are also a startup, but we are more supporting the startup as an ecosystem builder. But we believe that the region has a lot of potential. And given that Armenia is not far, Caucasia region is something which we clearly see a great opportunity to handshake. I've spent quite a time in Caucasia region. I've traveled a few times, and I see there's a lot of opportunity to exchange great talents. And I will hear in a few minutes that what is our startup speaking about themselves and how we can sort of dovetail with your ecosystem. So with that, I take a pause, given that we are very strict with the time. I don't want to go over the allocated time. So I would like to invite Reem from our side, who is the winner at Idea Stage category. Reem, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Swedel, for the introduction. It's really great to be here. I'm very excited to meet all of you. Unfortunately, the video, I'm unable to turn it on. Would love for you to see me, but maybe if you could possibly change the invitation. Just to give you, in the meantime, just to give you some brief background about myself. Prior to starting Trip, I was part of the leading founders of Hub 71, which is one of the ecosystem tech hubs in Abu Dhabi that I've had a great chance to be part of that team for around 3 years. But my passion towards technology and building startups has led me to basically quit my job and start Trip, which is a very young startup, around 5 or 7 months old, I think by now. And we've been very, very excited to have won the Entrepreneurship World Cup. So Trip in a nutshell is basically a concept of transferring referrals and turning them into actual credits that you can use in different places within the travel space, including food and beverage. So the idea is that we as consumers have a huge impact on our friends and family. But unfortunately, we're unable to capture that value. And meanwhile, small businesses are spending more than 70% of their marketing on paid ads and with very low conversion rates. So the concept is basically creating a new channel for them through these referrals to attract more loyal and returning customers and organically grow as businesses. We're currently, I would say around 6 months old. So we have basically launched our beta just 2 weeks ago, and we're currently testing it out with the first set of customers. And we're also growing as a team. We're at a pre-seed stage, and I'm very excited to explore further opportunities to collaborate and see how we can work together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Reem. Reem is, we are very proud that Reem is actually, since this is a UAE level event and we have a national winner, and also on top of that, the female founders. So thank you so much, Reem. You've done a really great job in the Entrepreneurship World Cup. So I'll quickly to the second category, which we had early stage category, and we had a category winner, Ahad. I see Munib and Rohan are in the panelist. So guys, you can switch on the camera and introduce yourself and talk about Ahad.
Sure. Hi, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Definitely, it's a pleasure to be here and be part of this initiative. I don't know if you need to share our screen or we can just talk about the initiative and obviously the concept which we're carrying forward, depending on
you
how
can share your screen. You can share your screen.
Okay,
definitely.
Let me do that just quickly.
Just be mindful of that. It's 5 minutes. So...
Indeed. Certainly, I do. We'll keep that in mind quickly. So this is obviously the premise here is, as Ahad, we are an intelligence-driven B2B marketplace, and running through quickly just to obviously set the premise. What are we doing, and obviously how are we disrupting the space, which is the cybersecurity space. So as an intelligence-driven marketplace, we have seen organizations across all different verticals are being impacted, and it's a matter of if, rather when you are actually hacked, because a hack is inevitable. But we're looking at how grave is the situation today. $6 trillion being lost by the world economy. In the last 1 year alone, $28 million of fines can be implemented as far as UAE laws are concerned, if obviously data privacy and protection is not in place as per the laws and the best practices. Most importantly, it's raining cyber attack. Almost the UAE official stats are 1.4 million cyber attacks in the last 1 year. More importantly, startups and even large organizations, if they don't comply, almost 60% of the organizations will phase out. So the problem is something which is dire. Every organization is facing it. What does Ahad come to solve here is this premise of how do you comply with the regulations? How do you ensure your best practices are adhered to, and making sure that while you're looking for VCs, while you actually are engaging with your customers and clients, how you expand in a secure manner. We have embedded intelligence into our marketplace, which obviously is a unique differentiation towards how do we actually help organizations identify their weak spots and help them remediate as quickly as possible before they become vulnerable. We invite everybody to actually come have a look at the marketplace. There are plenty of solutions from people, process, technology, all effectively and easily categorized towards helping the cyber decision makers make their swift judgment as well as make a call towards what they need next. We have some of the best of breed technologies. More importantly, even if the tech sector from Armenia, maybe it's an open invitation. If there are some key technology providers who are niche, who actually are making a difference in the world, please come on board. We would love to value. And as a cyber warrior, would love to take them in our journey towards helping and making this world a better place. That's about it from our side of things. So thanks a lot. If anybody would have any questions, we would love to take those.
Great, thank you so much, Munif. So we do have a space for Q&A towards end, and definitely even we would like to hear comments from our Armenia counterparts, and what they want to learn about Ahad, not only Ahad trip and desert control, and that's perfect segue to the next category winner, desert control. Atle is in the call, so Atle may call upon to kind of present desert control. Atle is a co-host now. Atle, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead, Atle.
Hi all. Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Atle. I'm the founder of Desert Control Middle East here in Dubai in 2018. We are a Norwegian ag tech company who have made a unique solution called liquid nano clay or liquid natural clay. It's here in this bottle. Now I can show it to everybody. What this technology does is that it turns desert sands into fertile soil. And after 7 hours of treatment, you can start planting. And we have now, for the past 3 years throughout the UAE, done projects in the deserts with agriculture. We have done about 20 different crops, and we see that the benefits of our solution is immense water savings, up to 50% in agriculture, and also increased yields in crops from 16 to 60%. We have a mission to make Earth green again. That's our main mission. And we see that the technology is really being embraced in this region and also in other regions of the world, because the deserts are growing at a speed that's unbelievable. It's growing by 12 million hectares per year, which is twice the size of Denmark. And we are on a mission to stop desertification. And also water scarcity is a big issue in our world now. So if we can contribute to using less fresh water for agriculture and landscaping, that's also our mission. So we, as a company, also went public on the Norwegian Stock Exchange in 2021. And we are now 70 people. 50 of those people are here in the UAE. I'm very happy to say that. And we are growing as a company. So we are very open to collaborate and discuss other opportunities in the region. And again, Swetal, we thank you for the opportunity to be part of your great event. And we're very happy to be part of the winning team. And we look forward to the future. So thank you.
Thank you, Atle. I mean, what you guys are doing is amazing for this region, because we see desert tech, essentially you guys are falling under that category, desert tech, and we need more and more desert tech in this region. So your name actually resonate with what the region is required. Thank you so much for the presentation. So with that, we actually come to a stage where we really want to thank our sponsor as well, who without their support, we wouldn't have able to make such a great final. Apparently, I have at the moment one of the sponsor on the call, Amar from Al Dafra TV. Al Dafra TV has been a really great supporter for us in terms of promoting the great contents. They were our media as well as a broadcast partner. We have two other sponsors going to join. I think one, because it's a Friday prayer, as we speak, the Friday prayer is going on. So he sent me a message that is done, he will join us. And Infi, our ecosystem partner representative, will also join. So in the meanwhile, let's hear from Amar. Amar, over to you.
Hi, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. This is Amar Said speaking to you on behalf of Al Dafra TV. And I would like to seize this opportunity and brief everyone here about us for a few minutes. Al Dafra TV is proud to cooperate with Startup Scale 360, for Entrepreneur World Cup. We are the media and broadcast partner for this initiative. We were honored when we knew that the document was going to take a part in covering the first UAE edition, Entrepreneurship World Cup. And we would love to take this chance and congratulate Startup Scale 360 for the extraordinary EWC event. And we want to thank them for putting their trust in us to showcase this unique event to local and Arab world through our TV. We hope that this will be the first of many more great collaborations. And thank you all for tuning up with me, and have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amar. So Nazde, I would like to hand over to you now. And like I said, Habib, as soon as he's back from the Friday prayer, I will get them on the panel.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah, and
okay.
Secondly, we'll have a representative from In5. In5 is the key, ecosystem player in Dubai. I'll add them. They have some sort of overlapping with other meetings, so they send a message. They send an apology message for now, but as soon as they are here, we'll add. So over to you, Nazdef. We would love to hear about ecosystem.
Thank you very much. I want to pass to Michael. Michael is going to introduce EPIC. Michael Kuchakjian is the Director of Entrepreneurship and Product Innovation Center at American University of Armenia. Michael, you can start now.
Thanks, Nejde. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, I want to thank Vidal and Nejde for organizing this, and I hope this is really a first step in a broader collaboration between us. Just like you guys in UAE, we also in Armenia claim that we're the link between the East and the West, and so I think we can all work together. So I'm the director of the Entrepreneurship and Product Innovation Center at the American University of Armenia. We call it EPIC. And I'm originally from the US, and I'm a professor in the business school and also director, and members of our team are here, Nejde, as well as Anna and others that are on the call. And so what I'll do is just take a couple of minutes. I'll go through these slides pretty quickly and talk about EPIC, starting with the American University of Armenia. So the AUA was founded about 30 years ago, soon after Armenia became independent. We're affiliated with the University of California. And so all our programs are in English. We have professors from all over the world, all courses. We have about 2,000 students, and we have business school. So I'll touch on the couple of programs that are associated with entrepreneurship and business. So our business school, we have a number of programs there, our School of Engineering, and we have an open education program, which is for non-degree students in the community, where we offer numerous entrepreneurship, startup, business, and finance courses. So what I would say is that over 30% of our students at the American University take entrepreneurship courses during their education at the university. And so here is a sampling of some of the courses that we offer. Now, in terms of EPIC itself, so this is a figure that shows our ecosystem prepared by our good friend and colleague, Chus Lozano, who will be talking about the ecosystem in a couple minutes. And so Chus has prepared this, and I think he has a updated version that he'll show. But EPIC is really in the early stage of our ecosystem. So we focus on incubation and pre-incubation. And then the the startups that then graduate our programs and move on to acceleration that are offered in Armenia by other organizations. And so, so far we've had 11 batches, over 250 entrepreneurs, and over 100 startups that have gone through EPIC. Our lead program is our incubator. It's a 15-week intensive program. It's early stage, idea validation. Every semester we have between 10 and 13 teams, 2 batches a year. We have a prototyping laboratory. And so our program is a formal program where we have workshops and we have entrepreneurs come in and give talks. We have various meetups, key component of our program is our mentorship component, where throughout their 15-week stay, our startups are engaged with mentors. We're very careful in choosing mentors so that they're domain specific and also have considerable startup experience. We rely on a large AUA network around the world. We have about 5,000 graduates. The majority are located in Armenia, but about 20% are around the world, and they are all eager to serve as mentors to our startups. A second program that we started earlier this year is called Strive, and this is focused on the entrepreneurial mindset. So this comes before our incubator. So it's a pre-incubator, and it focuses on all the different characteristics, all the different attributes that are necessary to be an entrepreneur, focusing on entrepreneurial thinking and the entrepreneurial mindset. And so you can see here, Strive as a pre-incubator program, and then EPIC, and then we move on to pre-acceleration and acceleration. And of course, Entrepreneurship World Cup. Our teams cover all of these various stages, but our focus really initially is on the early stage. We have plans for expanding it to pre-acceleration. Entrepreneurship World Cup. So EPIC is the national organizer in Armenia. This is our second year that we're the national organizer. And we've made an effort to make this a pan-national event. And so we have, you can see here underneath, teams, co-sponsors and leadership participants. So we call them the National Leadership Committee. So we have other organizations in Armenia that are very prominent in entrepreneurship and startups, including the Ministry of High Technology. And so we all work together. GIZ from the EU is also a member of our committee. And we have numerous sponsors. You can see some of our sponsors here, companies both inside and outside of Armenia. And just some quick facts, some quick numbers. You can see registrations over the 2 years, the number of startups that have competed, semifinals and finalists. In terms of national graduates of EWC Armenian champions that have moved on to the global competition. Obviously in 2022, we're still in the midst of the competition, but in terms of last year, 2021, we initially started with only one slot for the global finals, but during the national events in Armenia, EWC Global provided us an additional slot, so we were able to send 2 teams to the global competition. Both of our teams last year ended up in the top 100, and one of our teams, De Novo Sciences, ended up in the EWC top 25. And so we're very proud of that. I think we were the #1 team in terms of population to have teams in the global competition and to the top 25. We were #1 per capita. Also last year, Jen nominated us for the Compass Awards competition in the Inspiration and Resilience category and in the Best EWC National Campaign category last year. So we're very proud of our teams. We're very proud of our performance in terms of a national EWC committee. And we achieved quite a lot this year as well. Last year and this year as well. Let me go on just again, a couple other numbers and stuff in terms of co-organizers, sponsors, university partners, judges and jury, and attendees to our national final. And so that's it. These are our two winners, two teams we're very proud of this year, and they'll be able to make a presentation after I am finished. Just a couple other things that EPIC is doing. Just so you have an idea, we're establishing with some partners here the first equity-based crowdfunding platform in Armenia, where our large diaspora, as many of you may know, that many more Armenians live outside of Armenia than they live inside of the country. And so we are now establishing a crowdfunding platform so they can, from outside of Armenia, invest in our startups here in Armenia. Another program that we're just starting early stages is an incubator in the energy technology, energy transitions, climate change sector. And so we're moving forward on that. In terms of our EPIC entrepreneurs, annually, we take a trip to Silicon Valley for 10 days. And so starting or again in the summer of 2023, we're planning on taking a number of student entrepreneurs from EPIC to the US to spend 10 days in Silicon Valley. And then the last project that we're working on is a very large $18 million EU project on creating digital twins of the oceans. So we're one of 60 partners in this global pan-European initiative. And so we're involved in the technology and innovation facility. So through EPIC, we will create a platform for the technology that comes out of this initiative of creating a digital twin of the oceans. We will create the platform to help to commercialize and grow the technologies that come out of this initiative. And I think that's it. So Nishta, I will hand this over to you and I'll stop the share.
Okay.
And I'll be happy to take questions later, I guess, when we...
Yeah, later we will have a Q&A part. For the time being, let's move to Choose. Choose, you are upgraded to co-host position. So please connect your camera and you can start as soon as you are ready. Okay.
I'm ready. Hello.
How are you? Hello.
Can you hear me?
The good news is, and the good news is that you have voice today.
I have voice today. Well, still it's a little bit taken. I'm very sorry because I'm coming from a cold. Please let me share my screen. Can you please confirm that you see the screen?
Yes. Your screen is on.
Let me also to put the chrono, because for those who knows me, I can talk during hours about the Armenian ecosystem, and I have only 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. And for those who don't know me, well, my name is Chus. I'm Spanish in love and Armenian by choice, having an amazing Armenian family. So this is why I'm based here. I'm an entrepreneur on the first part of my life. I developed 12 startups. I was a very bad entrepreneur, failing a lot, but I was also a very serial entrepreneur, also succeeding. I became also a business angel network and venture capitalist. Obviously, when you make money, then you invest on the startups. And when I started working or investing in another startups, I became an ecosystem builder. Okay, so I was developing entrepreneurial programs, incubation, acceleration, co-investments, business engine network, etc. And then I became one of the senior experts of the European Commission, supporting the development of ecosystems in many countries, not only in Armenia. I'm also working many years in Georgia. I saw before my friends from GETA, it was the picture there. So many emerging countries. I'm very specialized on emerging countries. So let's come back to Armenia, because I really feel that we are very, very proud today to mention that we have one of the fastest growing ecosystem right now in the region. We are in a very good path. Okay, so but before showing the ecosystem in Armenia, let's go very quick on the definition of what is an ecosystem. To understand what is an ecosystem, we need to understand, first of all, that an ecosystem is a pool of players that are allowing startups, so the animals, to grow. We know that our startups, they grow in different stages. So pre-seed stage, where the teams are having ideas and are working on prototypes. Then they move into seed stage, when they start validating the business models and having proof of concepts, early adopters. Then they go to early stage, when they have companies, let's say now companies that are sustainable, having sales. Okay. Then they go into scale ups, when they just hide the value and they go international. In the case of Armenia, for example, of the region, so they go international and they start generating profits and value. And then obviously we go into exits, because the role of an entrepreneur, as I said, I'm an entrepreneur. The role of for any entrepreneur is to make an exit and to start again. This is what we love. This is why I mentioned that I created 12 startups. Okay, so if we understand how these animals, those startups are growing, we need to understand also that those startups, they need food to grow. Okay, and in this case the food is knowledge. Okay, so they need business knowledge. This is the role of the educators. Now Michael was showing in a very amazing way how Epic is feeding the entrepreneurs and the startups with the perfect business knowledge on incubation, pre-acceleration, acceleration. Also startups, they need to have access to capital, to finance. Okay, so on all of those stages, from friends, fools and family, to idea stage grants, to business angel investment, to venture capital investment, to private equity investment, just to let's say to go to the next level. Startups, entrepreneurs, they also need to have access to market. Okay, so they need to have the business environment where to grow. So a lot of events and networking events, like for example today, where one of the entrepreneurs from Emirates was having and taking the opportunity to promote also the product here. So this is why we need all of those kind of events. Even for 20 people that we are here today, you can make customers. And we need also access to facilitators. So we need access to co-working spaces, to latest technologies, fast internet access, etc., etc. Okay, so if we understand that startups, they need this food, then we can understand what is the situation of Armenia. But I came to Armenia 5 years ago in 2017, and that were the conversion rates, let's say, how the startups were growing. So for example, at that time, let's go to pre-seed to seed. So only 4.50% of the startups, they were growing into pre-seed to seed stage. So that means entrepreneurs were close to 5%. They were ending a product and started selling the product, let's say like that. Less than 1%, they were going into recurrent sales, not first sales, but recurrent sales, so becoming companies. And only 0.15%, they were growing internationally. Okay, those conversion rates were very, very far. I like close to 99% less, let's say, performance than startups on Silicon Valley, or around 70% less performance than startups in the Eastern Europe. Okay, we did. I have done in the last 5 years, almost every year, a very deep analysis on the maturity of the ecosystem of Armenia, and of course of the different countries around Armenia. So that was the ecosystem in 2017. As you may see here, what Armenia, let's say that the best asset and the most value that Armenia is having is the emerging technology education. So when I came to Armenia, I found amazing tech entrepreneurs, product-oriented entrepreneurs, so amazing STEM professionals. And this is because a part of the education, STEM education that we have on the schools, high schools, and of course universities, there are some players like I mentioned here, Tumo, COAF, Armat, Microsoft at that time, that they are giving access to digital skills and emerging skills education to teenagers. So I found a place full of entrepreneurs, but with many difficulties to go into sales, to create a company and go into sales. There were not public funding or private funding, so only Granatus was here, a venture capital. Epic was in 2017, was starting in 2017. We met for the first time, Michael, in 2017. But let's say more in the idea stage. And we had, of course, events, okay, but most of events were just, let's say, for ideation, so for inspiring entrepreneurs. And of course, we had facilities, so many technoparks, because as I said, Armenia is an engineering country, maybe not at that time an entrepreneurial country, but of course an engineering country. So after 5 years working as an ecosystem builder, okay, we may say that today 7.2% of the startups, so close to 40% more of the startups, of the entrepreneurs, they go into seed stage. So they finish the product, they validate the prototype, they really come out with something, not only the idea, and they go into seed stage. Okay, this is because today we have very good, let's say, network of incubators right now in Armenia. I'm talking about 5 years. There were some ones that were created and they are not here today. For example, Beeline Incubator that was showed in the map with Michael before, or UCOM. Okay, but today we have 7 incubators and pre-accelerators that are, let's say, performance also in quite good level. Also, now we have, let's say, good entrepreneurs that they understand that, okay, we have to be realistic. We have to develop products that can have quick access to market and to sales. And maybe once we make a lot of money, we can go to crazy ideas and change the world, okay? So we see this very clear improvement, and it's still growing. This is this 2022 is one of the sweetest year, let's say, on the Armenian ecosystem. Also, we continue having this public funding, not only the EU. I'm representing the EU. I'm pushing a lot the EU delegation here. So we're doing a lot of grant schemes, but also the World Bank, also the Ministry of High Tech and Ministry of Economy, and of course, many international players are also giving access to soft loans, to grants to the Armenian entrepreneurs. Okay. Also, we have increased on almost close to 30% the startups that they go into sales. So now we are in this 1.31. It seems it's very low, but we have to consider that Silicon Valley is close to 6%. So 6% of the startups funded in Silicon Valley, they go into recurrent sales. And in Emirates, it's close to 3%. Okay, so 1.31 for a country like Armenia is still acceptable. We're still performance, like 50% less than Eastern Europe, but we are growing. And we may say that in 5 years, we can stay performing like in Western Europe. If we continue hardly working on improving, let's say, the level of performance of our players in the Armenian ecosystem. But obviously, we are increasing because now we have investors. So we have 4 business angel networks. There are no business angel networks in Georgia. There are no business angel networks in Moldova. There are no business angel networks in Azerbaijan, obviously because of geopolitical reasons. I don't want to mention Azerbaijan, but we may say that in Armenia, we're very proud to say that, let's say, the access to capital is well developed, and we see the results. Also, the access to the international markets is now quite more easy. It's also growing fast. Obviously, there are not so many startups that they go international because we're generating around 600 startups per year. And let's say 1% of them they go, or less than 1% of them they go international. But they go international because also we have a very well developed venture capital fund. Okay, so we don't have only Granatus as before. We have Hive, we have Formula VC, we have Crossprint, that is my venture fund that is from the Netherlands, active in Armenia and very active this year in invest in Armenia, we have SmartGate, okay? A part of this access to capital, all of those conversion rates are growing also because we have a very intense today, this year, even after post-COVID, a very intense, let's say, entrepreneurial environment. So now in Armenia, as Michael said before, 30%, I think he said 30% of the students, they want to become entrepreneurs. That's amazing. I mean, it's 7% in Spain of the students, they want to be entrepreneurs. In Armenia, it's 30%. And if we talk about gender equality, it's also amazing. Half of the CEOs are also women. I was participating on the AUA 2 days ago, invited by Nesjet, and half of the class were also women. So this is also possible because we have a very vibrating, let's say, events. There are many others. I put many logos. There are many others. I mean, we have around 1 or 2 events per week. Even after the summertime, we call it the Tech October. So in October, we have most of the tech events. We have even international events. So this year, for example, we had this StarMus, so the international astrospatial event, and they came here. Neil Armstrong, the top astronauts, they came to Armenia. So Armenia is now in the map, okay? So there are many logos that I cannot put there. And of course, we also have many other facilitators also acting and supporting the startups to grow. I may say, I'm going to finish here. I may say that when we talk about an ecosystem, I saw also on the list that is Heike Margarian, one of my best friends here. It's attending. So let's say the enablers are part of this pyramid. So of course, we have many enablers that have the role to feed the startups, but also we have many ecosystem builders. There is my picture because I was even 80% of my work, I say very proud, 50% of my work in Armenia is pro bono. In country, I have to chill and I have to give back. So, but we have many organizations, you know, public, private organizations that fully or partially, they're also supporting the enablers. So they are supporting the incubators, the accelerators, the business angels, the events, etc. Many logos. I mentioned Hike because the National Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation is also here, very active. We have also private sector developers, so donor funders, obviously the EU, obviously the GSED, EBRD, World Bank, UNDP. We have more than 30 international organizations that also are taking care of creating this ecosystem. You see, I'm not talking about the startups, I'm talking about the enablers. So see how many donors, let's say, are acting in Armenia, and all of them having big impact. And of course, we have regulators. So I'm very close working with the government, with the Ministry of Economy and the Ministry of High Tech, teaching, as I'm doing here, teaching them how to understand the ecosystem. So now they are also very active, acting as regulators, acting as promoters, but also acting as ecosystem builders and even as enablers, because also the ministers, they are creating their own events and their own funds. So just summarizing, I think we have the challenge to continue growing, but we have to feel very, very proud that we are growing very fast, because even we mentioned 2017, but most of this is coming from the last even 3 years. And we had the COVID, and COVID didn't stop the Armenian. It is not a coincidence that the last year we had 2 finalists on the top 25 position. It's not a coincidence. I'm from Spain. We didn't have any Spanish startup in the top 25 on the EWC last year. It's because we really have this vibrating, let's say, professional ecosystem. And by the way, I want to take the occasion right now to congratulate to Epic, because you are doing amazing, guys. You know, and always, I was very tough and I was very critical with you. And now I'm always using Epic, like, and telling the entrepreneurs, you want to learn, you want to be bullshit free, you go Epic, and they will teach you how to go into the market. Okay, thank you very much. I did on 15 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chus. Yeah. We are 5 minutes late, but okay, the ground is now to our first, one of our national winners, actually, Tigran. Would you please let me give you the co-host position so you can start your presentation? And hello, Tigran.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here. I hope you see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So today I will tell you about our startup, which is called HopShop. And in 2 words, we call it Shazam for fashion. And the story behind the HopShop is my personal story, and I would like to tell it to you. So it's all started a year ago when my girlfriend suddenly discovered this black dress on Instagram. And obviously she asked me to find it. And just like a good boyfriend, I went through the 3 existing solutions, how people can find same products. The first solution I tried was Google search, which gave me a lot of images, but none of them was the one that I was looking for. The second solution was Google Lens or Pinterest Lens, where I got unpurchasable products. And the third and last solution was image search tools integrated in some fashion shops. But as one single shop has limited results, I switched between dozens of them and couldn't find what I want. And then I realized that I'm having the same problem as 60% of all shoppers have. And furthermore, just like me, about 60% of all shoppers wants to have shoppable content when they can click and purchase the content. But they can't do that now. And this creates problem for both consumers and for retailers. For consumers, they go up to 2 hours trying to find what they are looking for. They spend up to hundreds of clicks on their way of finding their product. And even if they find the single product, they still have very limited options. And on the retailer side, they don't have any exposure to reach me out and offer that dress, because basically they don't know that I'm interested to buy that. And as a result, they lose 30% of their sales annually. And this is exactly why we've created HopShop. It's an AI-powered fashion application which helps shoppers to buy any apparel in just 3 steps. And in this video, HopShop helps me to find the same black dress in just 3 steps. All I need to do is just to make a screenshot, upload it to HopShop, and within seconds, I'm getting all the exact and similar matches which are currently available in the market. And everything found in HopShop is 100% shoppable and installed. And now, with HopShop, users go from 2 hours to just 3 seconds, from hundreds of clicks to just 3 taps, and from very limited options to a database of 6 million options. And retailers go from no exposure to capture the intent of potential customers, and from 30% of lost sales to 20% of more sales. We are a market-ready solution, and we have a massive traction. Over 450 global retailers such as ASUS, Adidas, Reebok, New Balance, over 6 million products in a current database, and it's growing every day. Over 8K purely organic downloads, and all of these with just 200K that we have raised so far. We charge all our shops up to 15% when users make purchases from them. And these retailers are part of the 610 billion global market size. We are starting from the UK market, which is 60 billion, and we'll reach 25% of visual searchers by 2025. Few words about the current competition. Existing competitors either doesn't have enough data quality or data quantity. HopShop, with its over 6 million current database with combination with high data quality, provides seamless shopping experience to the users. And the technology that we have behind the HopShop is capable to work not only as a B2B, B2C marketplace that we have now, but also as a B2B solution for physical retailers and white label for streaming services like Netflix or Hulu. And few words about our last achievements. Totally, we have raised over 200K. We have won a lot of events and programs. And the last achievement is the Berkeley Skydeck. It's a world famous acceleration program. We are backed by Berkeley Skydeck and our first Armenian company who had participated in the Berkeley Skydeck Europe batch. And all of this wouldn't be possible without the hop shoppers behind the hop shop. We have 12 people in the team, and the founding team consists of PhD computer scientist, data scientist, business developer with 15 years of experience in CPG, and I'm leading the team with 3-time entrepreneurship experience. The way purchases made are changing. Yesterday, it was patient catalogs. Today, it's Googling. And tomorrow, it's gonna be HopShop. And by the way, this is a QR code which you can use to download the app and see the magic there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tigran. Okay, the next and our last presenter is going to be Artur from Text and Pay. Let me raise you to the position of co-host, so you will be able to, yes, it's done. You will, now you can.
Hi everyone again. It's a pleasure to meet you all here. I'm really excited to see Chus, Michael, Najdet, Tigran. I missed all of you, so I hope when I get back to Armenia, I will pay you a visit. And it's also great to hear to have here the rest of the companies and the representatives from our counterpart startup ecosystem. It's very exciting also to understand the massive work that is being done towards improving the systems. And that being said, let me begin presenting our company. So, as already Najdet mentioned, I'm Arthur, and I'm the founder of Text and Pay Me. And what we do, we make payments. We enable you to make payments through any application. Let me briefly tell you about the history and the story where all this came from. Like we realized that from 2018, there was a massive tendency coming from the biggest social networks and messaging applications launching payment capabilities right inside of their apps to their users. And this meant that they're trying to displace banks from the peer-to-peer markets. And WeChat only has processed around 15 trillion from 2016 to 2021. And this is the amount of money that banks are practically losing to those applications. And with the rapid growth of Web3 and DeFi, banks are literally on the verge of extinction. So the challenge was to come up with a solution that will make banking services accessible right inside of those applications like Facebook, Messenger, WeChat, WhatsApp, etc., without the need for technical integration. And this is how our two products came to life: Text and Pay Me mobile keyboard and Chrome extension. The way that it works is as simple as typing a text message or sending a voice message. So what you need to do, let's say you want to send money through WhatsApp, you just open it, you type send 5,000 drams to the person that you want to send. On the next step, you can see the pre-check where you need to check the information that you have previously filled in, and you securely approve the transaction. That's it, and you can do it, and you can do the same with the voice. Currently, we are partnering with banks, telecoms, and e-commerce, and the typical integration takes around 25 business days, which means that in 25 business days, they can start getting their piece of pie that has been previously taken. We are very, very picky about the security standards and how secure is our application. That's why we specifically developed our Apex F layer, which sits on top of your existing banking security layers on your phone. We're zero knowledge, which means that we do not collect any of the personal banking information. And this also is backed up and ensured by the OWASP top 10 and other penetration testing techniques that, again, improve the stability of the application and make it as secure as your current banking applications, even more. Now about the traction. Before EWC, we had 15 pilots. We are recognized and supported by a central bank, and they introduced us to Korea FinTech. We are also, we have been also featured by Ministry of High Tech Industry during MWC, and we received grants. We have been nominated already thrice, and we won thrice. And as you know, we became one of the EWC's national winners. It led us to additional 6 pilots in this very small amount of time, which is 2 months or so. And we are now working on a tax and payment gateway, which is a fantastic news for us. What it means, we managed to get a base bank in our country, and now we're setting up to money transfer operators gateways to different countries so that you can make payments literally to any location you want to. And also we have another fantastic news, which is we are accepted to 500, and right now I'm Tbilisi in between the 500 acceleration. And this is a breakthrough moment for our company. We are now trying to polish to the perfection the B2C model that we're building, and soon our application is going live. All of this became possible thanks to our team and a board of two boards of advisors. The first one is from the States, which you can see on this slide. And this board of advisors sums up our core advisors who are either from our market. We have also one of the most amazing crypto evangelists, Miss Alexandra Pitkevich. She is the blockchain lead of EPAM systems. And I think that's it. Thank you very much. And last but not least, I'd like also to share our vision, which is viral deep tech. So this is what is Tax and Pay Me about. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So now I think that we have finished the main part of the agenda, and now we are open to any kind of questions. Please raise your hand, and I will give you the permission to raise your question, ask your question, and then definitely those who are going to be addressed will answer your questions. Any question?
And
yeah, please.
Before we go to Q&A, I would like to quickly.
Oh, okay, you have. Okay.
Yeah, we have a Rekha Satpal representing In5. I would like to welcome Rekha on the call. Rekha, this is basically UAE Armenia ecosystem meet as part of Entrepreneurship World Cup. So we have a winner from both sides, 3 winners of the UAE and 2 winners of Armenia. And we heard, recently from one of the winners who just concluded the call, but thank you, by the way, Michael, and just to, it's great to learn about what you guys are doing in Armenia and the startups, amazing startups that we heard from both sides, both UAE and Armenia. Rekha, first of all, I would like to thank In5 for supporting us as a key ecosystem partner and sponsor for this event. So would you like to say a few words and also, briefly describe In5's role in the UAE in general?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to join in today's call. So from our perspective, we are part of TCOM Group, which is the multifunctional industry, player and enabler in Dubai. So I head In5, which is the startup hub and incubator. So we have we have supported about 700 startups, and as at now we have 300 plus active startups in our incubator. And so what we provide to the startups is the subsidized cost for a business setup, and apart from that we provide the mentorship, coaching, training, access to the startups. So the startups who are part of our program, they get support for up to 3 years with the subsidized costing. And the journey for each startup is very different. So we cater to everything that a startup would be looking for. We do not provide the funding from our side, but the investors who are in our pool, they look at these startups, and then if there is a mutual synergy, then we connect the startups with the relevant investors. So we are very we like to also thank Svetal for us to be part of the journey and the programs that he has been leading. And if there is any specific question from any startup, we are always happy to answer. So Svetal, please feel free to connect, share my contact details with the team. And if anyone has any specific questions, we'll be happy to answer individually the relevant queries from the startups.
Thank you so much, Rekha. And one of the success story came out of this collaboration is that actually Desert Control started from In5, with the incubator there, and then eventually they went out of In5, grown big, and they become a category winner at the growth stage category, and came back to In5 to take the award, which was a great, I would say, the success which In5 has provided. And I think other thing In5 which I really like, they categorize into three different buckets. Like one is tech, other is design, and the third is media. So they are addressing like not just the tech, but beyond that also they're looking at the talent. So great, thank you so much, Rekha, for summarizing In5, and I will definitely connect and share your contacts with the teams in Armenia.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Nazde, over to you. And if there are any questions, you can promote them, and we are happy to address from UAE side.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Let me see. Do we have any question? Let me see. No, I don't see any question, but let me raise my question, maybe from the participants. My question is that how do you see the potential of cooperation or collaboration between these two ecosystems, considering that both of us are in the initial stage of ecosystem building? And as you mentioned, Svetal, actually, both of us are in the middle of in the connection point of East and West. So do we have any kind of idea how we can continue this collaboration? We can build this collaboration between Armenia and United Arab Emirates, considering that we are almost in the one region. And even our from a timing point of view, we have the same time. So that is a kind of opportunity for us to build a kind of collaboration between these two nations. Do you have any kind of suggestion, idea, anybody, even from those who are attending the meeting?
So from our perspective at In5, we have been receiving several applications, basically from Armenia as well as the neighboring regions. For us, our processes to onboard the startups are like pretty much well defined and very quick process. So it doesn't take any time for us to onboard a startup. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks maximum for any new startup to come and establish over here. And while of course they are here in Dubai for not really even establishing, they want to come and just scout the market. Our spaces are essentially open for them to come and even be with us during the time that they are here. They can use our co-working space they can have an attendance to the events that we have, our mentorship sessions that we have, so that they get a flavor of the place. And of course, maybe also check around the other startups who are working, bounce ideas with them, and also understand more the region. So we would say that if anyone is coming into Dubai, then they are welcome to come to Infi, and we can give them a tour. We can, provide to them the details. Also, if they're here for a week, 10 days, 15 days, and they want to use our space, our doors are open for them.
Great.
That's a great news. Thank you.
Thank you, Rekha. And I think just to add to what Rekha said, I think definitely we see a great opportunity to collaborate with Armenia. And I spent quite a good amount of time in Caucasia. I told that travel to Georgia, like I think more than a dozen times. And I was also in Armenia last year in Yerevan. So I definitely see Caucasia region is an important part. Not only for travel, I know ever since UAE started signing a bilateral agreement with the countries where UAE residents can land to Georgia just with the Emirates ID, right? I mean, you don't even need a visa. And I think Armenia process is also very simplified to come to the country. So tourism is definitely, we are seeing a lot of people are coming to that region with family for a pleasure purpose. But when I was there, I see huge opportunity for business purpose, because we see Caucasia could be great gateway for Europe as well. Not many people can easily enter European market. They can actually go via Caucasia region, and Armenia can provide that platform. I see Tumo, someone from Tumo is there, and I was quite impressed with what Tumo was doing and all. And those kind of the talent, which Tumo is producing, I think we can tap from MENA region, right? So similarly, I'm sure the startups, in this region are, although they are focusing more to expand to MENA region, Saudi, Egypt, like I said, is a bigger market. But they have this given an additional opportunity to look at Caucasia and beyond from here. And we are always welcoming Armenian startups to come over here. Rekha, pretty much, as she suggested, that the door is open. Infi can be great gateway for Armenian startups to come to Dubai and look at wider region. And like I said, India is be close, and that also given access to much bigger market. So yeah, I mean, we welcome you guys. It's a great platform. If anyone from our side, any startup who wants to learn about Armenia or want to share their view, please feel free to raise hand and ask question.
Sweetal, thank you for that. And I just want to echo everything you said, that we are ready to do the same here in Armenia. And so with us and our ecosystem partners and all the capabilities we have, likewise, we're happy to work with all teams, entrepreneurs, anyone interested in business here in Armenia, and to expand toward the west and toward the north as well.
I can add a few comments if there's time. So from our perspective, I think the nicest thing that we could get as startups with the Armenian ecosystem is possibly linking us to specific startups that have, let's say, are within the same stage or industry, to be able to learn from each other, to understand, certain things that we might be doing might not be the right direction. We could basically, share different ideas with one another, be kind of like peers, if you will, where we could share our information and our experience of setting up in the UAE, and they could share their experience in how to set up and grow in Armenia as well. I think that would be really nice for us, is to maybe connect with specific startups that have that are kind of quite similar in many ways.
Definitely. Through EPIC and basically EWC organizer, there will be the opportunity for connecting you with any kind of any startup which is related to the topic and which you are looking for. Definitely, we will be more than happy to help you not only you, but also for any startup who will approach us through maybe Suetel, because currently we are the connection. So we will definitely connect you with any organization or any startup which will be able to help you in any topic related to Armenia and our region. I would like to ask Chus, do you have any comment, because you are one of those people who are also connected directly to United EU actually. So maybe you have also one suggestion, because they mentioned that Armenia could play a role for connecting Middle Eastern startups and ecosystem to Europe. And what's
Yes, of
your
course.
idea about it?
Well, as I mentioned on my pitch, one of our gap in the Armenian ecosystem is to help startups to go international. The soft landing is a component that is totally missing, and that should be the responsibility of EPIC, for example. So as a incubator, so there is a process. Incubators are always connecting with accelerators in Europe, in Emirates, in United States, China. Most of the incubators, they go from idea to sales. So they are incubators and they are accelerators. But in Armenia, since we don't have big market, incubators they have, or it should be mandatory for the incubators to be connected with the accelerators and with the international accelerators. So obviously, to answer this question, is there is a need to connect, let's say, both governments. The governments, they take the roles to be the promoters. This is the role of, let's say, the organizations I was mentioning before. So these are the roles of the NCIE, for example. So to make sure that they connect the governments from both countries to establish relationship, because the governments, they have to fund. For a startup, it's not always easy to go Emirates, And by the way, I agree that Armenia can be the door to go Europe, okay? But I think that the most interesting is for the Armenian startups to go Emirates, because Emirates is the door to a huge Asian and African market, or Western African, Eastern African market, So for me, going into Emirates is extremely important for many startups of Armenia. What to do? Okay, we need organizations connecting both governments. We need governments funding incubators, Armenian incubators, to give access to funds for the internationalization, so soft landing programs to the Armenian startups. And we need also to connect the incubators with the Emirates, with the accelerators on Emirates. Okay, so to try to understand from the market, from the Emirates market, from those accelerators and investors, what are they looking for? We heard before, I love it, desert tech. Okay, maybe they are looking for desert tech. Can we develop desert tech? Okay, Emirates is the, let's say, it's the place where to develop energy tech, clean tech. So obviously, can we develop? We have the expertise in Armenia to develop clean tech, energy tech. Okay, but this is the role of the governments. So you have to invite both governments to connect. Then you have to do some mapping on the accelerators and investors in Emirates that will connect with the private sector. And then, of course, we have to provide through the incubators to the Armenian startups all of the capital they need to do soft landing into Emirates and then go into the market. Okay, it's a very complex question, but this is something that obviously you, NGTP, you have to take the initiative and go to our government and say, okay, we want to help our startups to go Emirates. Let's start moving. Let's start moving on that side.
Yeah, actually, we will be happy to do that. And usually that's one of the roles that, as you mentioned, EPIC is playing, connecting Armenian startups to outside world, because as Chus mentioned, unlike Emirates, we are quite similar from a population point of view, but you have full access to the Middle Eastern market. But our market is very limited. We have a very small market. So any startup who is starting in Armenia definitely should consider outside of Armenia and beyond the Armenian market. So that is going to be a good solution for Armenian startup, and vice versa for maybe we can, I'm not sure how we can help, but definitely we are eager to help also those startups who are going to approach us through Emirates, through the channel, this channel from Emirates. That's a very important issue, I would say, and definitely we will raise this issue also with the government from our side. I'm sure that Suitala is also will agree with this idea, and we can do something related about this. But another good news was that last year, actually, exactly in December, Armenia Startup Armenia Foundation, which is one of our co-organizers in co-organizer of EWC in Armenia, organized about 1 week seaside startup summit in Ras Al Khaimah, which was quite interesting. We started a kind of collaboration also with that region's startups and organization, and also the government. But still, maybe it is a very small step for expanding this collaboration. And I hope that this collaboration from now on will start to grow as fast as it will be possible for us. And maybe we can also integrate our co-organizers like National Center of Innovation and Entrepreneurship from Armenian side, and also those sponsors who presented today from the Emirate side, and also other organizations from each side of the story. Svetal, do you have anything to add?
No, I completely agree what you said, and the suggestions that has come from even from Reem from our side, and I think we completely align what we are in terms of vision, and Startup Scale 360 and In5 in collaboration with In5. I'm sure door is open. We will definitely will welcome Armenian startups. I think Rekha has suggested something really interesting. If anybody is here for a week trip and all, and they want to spend time, understand the landscape, they office space is there, they can meet with the startup. And in fact, the Reem suggestion to kind of identify or do a matchmaking of a similar industry startups and connect them so that they can learn from each other in terms of company setup, in terms of landing, and other other regulatory aspects, and also to understand the market. I think many things can be planned. I believe that this is a first step toward many other collaborations that we can do together in the future. And as part of the Entrepreneurship World Cup, we know that the main work will start from 1st of Jan. And because the final is happening in March, I think we want to keep the momentum. We want both sides finalists to kind of learn from each other. And also not just the UAE, Armenia, we want to extend these collaborations to other part of the countries as well. In fact, we tried that to kind of bring more and more countries.
Yes, actually.
Platform. We tried with Spain and even Lebanon, but I think it's not stopping over here. I think the effort will be continuously. We'll try to build and kind of establish more and more ecosystem partnership.
Yes, certainly, and hopefully we will extend this collaboration between EWC national organizers beyond our these two dimensions, integrating also other nations. We have, I guess, it seems that we have a question or something from Hike. Do you want to let me give you? Yes, you can talk now. Yes, we are hearing you, Hike.
Okay, yes.
Hike is the CEO of the organization in Armenia called National Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, one of our co-organizers of EWC this year. The ground is yours. Hike, please unmute yourself and
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
If anyone from our side, any startup who wants to learn about Armenia or want to share their view, please feel free to raise hand and ask questions.
Thank you so much. Can I just add a few words? Do you hear me?
Echo everything you said. There's some background noise coming. We could hear.
Yeah, I know. No, I don't.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Nejde, and thank you so much, Shoes, for giving me the floor and mentioning about NCIE. I just wanted to say, as a representative from government, and thank Mr. Kumar for the opportunity. Just from our side, that we would be more than happy to collaborate with you. And at this point, government is deciding about the ecosystem builder, but National Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship already is taking active part in the developing the entrepreneurship ecosystem in Armenia and working together with organizations like EPIC and others. And EPIC is doing very big work in this sphere. So I just wanted very shortly thank Choose and Nejde and Mr. Kumar for the opportunity, and we would be more than happy to collaborate.
Thank you very much, Haik. Any other questions, suggestion, comment, anything related to today's? Because we have already passed our limited time, but if there is any question.
So Nejde, I see one hand raised, and we take that as the last question because we are slightly running.
Yes. Okay. Karen Madoyan is one of our national finalists. They have been one of our national finalists. Duduk is their company. Carlen.
Yeah. So I just was to I want to just say thank you. So for the opportunity to collaborate. So actually, it would be like great for us to. I mean, like not only for us, for any startup from Armenia to collaborate with UAE ecosystem. So I just want to say thank you. And thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. And
thanks, yeah.
Thank you, actually, everybody who participated in this meetup. Swetal, do you have a final?
So I would also like to
comment
I would like to thank everyone, both sides of the ecosystems, who came and shared their great ideas, and also the ecosystem enabler from both sides who actually spoke about the role what they are playing in their respective ecosystem. So thank you so much. I'm sure we will have more and more such kind of collaboration and events where we go more deeper to understand the each respective country and what value that each one can bring in, and how the startups can benefit from both sides. We definitely see UAE is a great landing platform for general MENA region, and I think we can sense that Armenia can also play that similar role for that region. So yeah, I mean, with that note, I really want to thank everyone for joining us, and looking forward for other series of such kind of events in the future.
Thank you once again from everybody who participated in this meetup, and a special thanks to Swetal because we in a very limited time, actually, we organized this meetup. Thank you, everybody, and hopefully we will meet you soon on our second meetup that hopefully we will arrange, and maybe we can meet also each other in any of our countries. Take care, have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.